Hi everybody, this is Ellen Fischer and we're here today at Center for Spiritual Care. We're going to be talking to Mags Hobbs and we're sitting in her exhibition right now. It's called Fun Light on Imagination and it's going to be up through April 30th, 2021. Hello, Mags Hobbs.
Hello, Ellen Fischer.
Well, congratulations on the show. I see all red dots dancing in front of my eyes.
Well, bit of stroke of luck, all that, really.
Oh, no. Chance favors the prepared mind, you know.
Oh,
yes.
Okay.
Pasteur.
Well, no, I'm very happy, and we've still got 10 days to go, and who knows what might happen in there.
Yes, you might not have to bring any of them home, and wouldn't that be nice?
Yeah, it would be nice. Very nice, but not likely.
Well, first off, though, I think what we'll talk about is what I think is one of the happiest paintings in the show, and that is Daisy Cow, which is over on this wall over here. And she is 40 by 30 inches, I see, on the checklist.
Yes.
And she has beautiful long eyelashes.
Yes.
And a wet nose.
Yes, quite, she does. And her eyes are quite sort of glassy, so she looks like, but she's also looking to see what did I hear? What have I seen? Who is that? What are you doing? I feel she's doing just that. But I love cows. I paint them a lot. And in the summers we're up in Wisconsin.
Okay.
And I don't want to even say how many, because that's dairy state. And they all love cows and roosters, they love.
Okay.
So I'm quite...
All those farm animals.
Yeah,
Do you
yes.
think cows have as much personality as you've given Daisy over here?
Yes, I think they do.
Yes.
I
Do you
think
know any
they-
of them personally up there in Wisconsin? Or-
Yes, absolutely. And I just love them. I love painting animals. I've got one or two which I have to perfect a little bit, but I love the cows, I love the roosters, I love the bison, one of my new things.
One of your new things, and pigs. You've done
I've
lots
done
of pigs.
pigs.
Not so many cats and dogs, I don't think.
One little dog
Oh
up
yes,
there.
there's a little portrait of a dog
Yes.
over there.
Yes, he's...
But you seem to like the larger and the more
Yes, I do rather
useful
like...
animals.
I say to I'm not what you might call I call a sitting down painter. I like this movement.
Yes, standing up and moving.
Yes,
Which
I
you
do.
can see in the painting. You can see your brush strokes and little spurts of paint coming off the cow's nose as though she's just sneezed or something.
Yes,
So it's very, very lively.
it's very lively and much loved here. And in fact, I heard that the other day, one lady was in here and I heard that she couldn't take her eyes off, but couldn't take her eyes off the eyes of Daisy.
Yes.
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 Yeah. She's not really directly staring at us, but she's allowing us to gaze at her.
Yes.
I
And
think
she's
there's
very,
a real thing going on.
she's very
between
cute,
us.
isn't she?
She's very cute, and that's the one
Yeah.
I gravitated to when I first came into
Did you?
the thing. So it must have sold right away because I mean she
Yeah.
really is an appealing
Yes.
cow.
Yeah, the cows don't hang around for long.
But bison are your new things, and we
Yes.
have a bison in the show, an
Yeah.
American bison. Are there any other kinds?
Not to my knowledge. I think they're very specifically American, aren't they? The plains.
A lot of people call them buffalo here, but it's
Yes.
not really a buffalo.
Either
Yeah.
one. I'm not sure if they're slightly different. But I started it about last summer. I felt like doing a bison, and that was that. That was, I got going, I got started. I thought, oh, I love it. The one I did first was, well, what I love is the contrast of the bison is such a big animal.
Yeah,
He's
those big
so
shoulders.
huge, and you can imagine if he's running and all that. But I painted this one with flowers all over it. I would like the combination of this huge, great thing.
Hulking
And
beast.
yes, and in fact that's what happened with the little one there. I called it Rainbow Bison. And the one
Well,
that
let's
I first
go
did.
back to American bison. You seem to like the 30 by 40 inch format. It's
Yes.
big enough for you to really move around in.
Yes.
And this bison, unlike Daisy, looks like he's charging. He looks like he's a little bit irate.
This one
Yes,
does.
this one right over
Absolutely
here.
he does, which I indulged in the colour on it, so that it was not literally sort of the dark brown and all that.
Yes.
But he is moving. He looks quite snorty, doesn't he?
Yes,
you know,
he
he looks like
does.
he just.
Yes, he does. And he has his wonderful hairs. You have a very calligraphic stroke
Yeah.
in making the buffalo hairs on his neck, and
Yes.
and he's just he's very wild and very, I guess I guess American spirit, sort of wild and moving.
I think
ahead
so.
and
I feel that.
restless.
Yes.
And, yeah.
And always loved by the men.
Oh,
Now the
yes.
ladies love this cow and Buttercup, but the men love the bison.
I don't know.
It's quite
I love the
noticeable.
bison, yeah.
Oh, yes.
I mean, if it were up to me, I think I'd take the bison home, but I think they're both sold, so that's a
Yeah,
good thing. That's a good thing. It's a good thing for me, too.
Yeah. It spared you.
But it spared me from
Yes.
maybe making a
Yes.
plunge. And the rainbow bison that you were talking about is much smaller. It's only 8 by 10.
Yes.
You do a lot of sketches, and one of the nice things about this show is that there are a couple of your sketchbooks here, which are this just thick. You know, they're regular artist
Yes.
sketchbooks, small sketchbooks,
Yes.
but they got so much paint and collage and stuff in them that they sort of
They're
bulge
thick,
out.
aren't they? Tom LaBeouf, you know, he calls them a hoagie. He said that they're like a hoagie.
A hoagie with all that stuff in.
Yes.
Or a dagwood. Have you ever heard of a dagwood
Yes,
sandwich?
yes, I have. Yes.
It's a little like that too, because you go through and there's a variety of animals and abstractions and your thoughts,
Yes.
your shopping lists, and what art
Yes.
supplies you need next. So it's really a living document of
Somebody
your art
mentioned
life.
the other day, why have you got in this drawing, somebody said, why does it say, don't do it, Harry? And I went, oh my gosh, what do you mean by that? And I said, well, it was just happened at that particular time, and I wrote it down, don't do it, Harry. You know, I'm talking about Prince Harry, of course.
Oh. So there's a little bit of, contemporary
So there's
everything in
everyday
there.
reaction
Yeah.
to things I
Politics,
like to put in
celebrity,
there.
everything.
Yes, I'd forgotten all about that, and I didn't even notice it. But somebody said to me, "Why does it say 'Don't do it, Harry' on a drawing of a flower or something?"
It does give a little extra intrigue to the painting, though.
I love doing the journals.
Yes, and so the Rainbow Bison is about a journal-sized painting. Did
It
it
is.
come out of the
Came
journal?
out of yes,
And this one is more of a peace and love type of bison, I think. It's a psychedelic bison.
yes. Well,
Yeah.
that's my the feeling. I want them to look strong and masculine, but the irony of doing them in pinks and flowers and
Yes.
things like that. I like that. That kind of crosses over the line. I don't stick with the.
Yeah, it's almost like a cave painting if they had Crayolas. or
Yes,
something back
yes,
in the day.
yes.
Yeah.
And I like them in colours. They'll always be in colours.
And
They won't
going
ever-
from that bison, we go to another, actually it's more of a bull, the Picasso sketch.
Oh, yeah, don't you love... Well, I shouldn't say that. I shouldn't say that. No, the Picasso, well, I got involved making this portrait.
Yes.
And then having done that one, I thought, I'm going to do another portrait. So when this was all completed and finished, I stood back and looked and I thought, oh my gosh, that looks like somebody. And I couldn't think who it was. And then about 4 days later, I thought, oh, it's Picasso.
Yes, and we're speaking about another painting in the show, which
Well,
is
this was
homage to
about that
Picasso.
one. It was about that one.
Oh.
So so I rushed and got my big, thick Picasso book and went through it to look for the black and white graphics kind of drawing.
Okay.
And I just loved that bullfighting thing.
Yes.
And then I called that because it was from the notebooks, and I put this from Picasso's notebook. So I literally sort of took the drawing, but I just love the drawing that he done.
It's always nice to have an inspiration and not be afraid to say that you have an inspiration. A
No,
lot of people want to act like they're fully sprung, from Zeus's head or something.
Oh, right.
Everybody has an inspiration, and yours is Picasso, one of them anyway.
Yes, I love Picasso's.
Well, let's talk about that Picasso portrait. Now, isn't this the portrait you were saying that it started to look like somebody?
Yeah,
because you were just doing a face.
Yes, I was. But then I thought, oh my gosh, it's Picasso. And then I thought, oh, that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to do like the homage to Picasso, and chose those three particular iconic pieces, like the bunch of flowers.
Oh, yes, yes.
I just love that one.
Yes,
And then, of
that's
course,
in there.
his cubism and the, what is the other one on there? Oh, the vase, cubism vase.
Yes, yes.
So I just,
And a
I
portrait
just
of
have,
Jacqueline or somebody on there, yeah.
yes,
Yeah.
I just had fun with that one.
It is really fun. So it just sort of, Picasso just sort of started to come out at you.
Yeah.
You were channeling him.
Yes,
and he
I was.
appeared before you. That's wonderful.
Yes, I love his stuff. Like I like a lot of graffiti. I love graffiti.
I think that is one that I'm going to get to.
Yeah, okay.
But let's talk about the graffiti. That is in your abstract over here. And so you think you go from like Picasso and his freedom with mark making
Yes.
to today's
Yes.
graffiti with
Yes.
spray cans and markers.
I'm not a conformist. I don't conform very well. I'm really a bit outside the box, and it doesn't necessarily mean I can do it any better. It's just that that's how I want it to. I want to go there and find my way around that. And graffiti is a huge inspiration for me.
Okay.
I can't do it yet, but
Well, I think you've had a good crack at it here at Abstract, and that's a 40 by 40 inch painting, and it's right over here. And I can see a lot of words, but as with tags
yes.
that you see on train cars or buildings, you can't necessarily read what they say.
No.
But you know they say
No.
something.
And right in the center of that, if you look, but you have to look very carefully, is a Queen of Hearts card.
A green what?
A playing card.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Is it collaged on?
Yes, it is.
Oh my goodness! I did look at it and
Coloured
I
and
didn't see
covered.
it. I'll have to go and find it out. Why did you decide to put that playing card in there?
Well, I just love all these collage items,
Elements,
they're
yeah.
just so much wonderful stuff. Magazines and photographs, everything.
Yes.
It's just such a rich source of other artwork,
One of the things that takes us to now is your New York painting, which looks like it started out from a New Yorker magazine cover that you have echoed in your painting.
Well, no,
You have both.
that's
It's
what happened with that one is,
right there.
you see, during the summer up in Wisconsin, I teach a little bit, get carried away. It's not, but I try very hard to make them. They all want to do pretty little scenes, boat houses on the lake and everything. And I've said to them, don't come to me if that's what you want to do, because I can do it. I don't. And so I said, we're not having any brushes. You're going to paint with your hands and all sorts of, and push them outside of what they're already doing. And one time, I say to them, I don't want you to draw with precision. I want you to draw with imagination. And anything is good. Everything is good. You don't have to follow this same track, and which you're struggling with. So I said, show you what I mean. And I took this canvas and make them rip up magazines and everything else and paste down. And while I was doing that, this New York thing came out. Must have had a New York magazine
The New
piece
Yorker,
there.
yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, it's got a really charming cover of two people walking down a city street, and you have echoed that in the foreground. The cover is almost lost in the background with all of the big tall buildings and things.
Yes.
But
Yes.
then you see your two people walking back that are in the foreground, and then you see them echoed way in the background, and you see what
Yes.
you're doing there. That's very clever.
Well, it's very, it just happens very easily. I don't have any, I just keep following myself. The expression about I look at the painting, see what it tells me.
Mm-hmm.
And that's when it suggests, I can see it before.
It's a conversation. Yeah.
Yes, and that's quite allegorical too. I like that kind of storytelling.
Yes. Do you like the city? Is that why you decided to do the cityscape? Or
No.
did the collage elements suggest a city?
Well, I do like cities a little. It didn't come from that. It came from trying to illustrate to my ladies, look, go this way, don't take a pencil and start drawing. I'm very strong on that. You need to let the painting, in fact, put it on the floor, throw down the paint, then look at it. What does it say? What is it telling you? I like to work that way.
Oh, but they liked it too once they sort of got into the mood
some
of
of them did some tremendously great things.
And sort of opened the door to them for their future artworks.
They were able to do these rather extraordinary ladies' heads and faces and things. No, they weren't trying to make it perfection.
You can always
it's not
tell
a drawing
if somebody's
exercise.
trying too hard, yeah.
Yeah. And the trouble with that is they get disheartened. Because
it
they're
doesn't
trying.
look like what they think it should.
No, and they get upset, and I just say, look, this is not. We're going the wrong way here.
I think I see what you mean. You're teaching them to look for themselves in the artwork that they're making, and not a model outside of themselves.
And of course, so many people like that. They go home, and of course, the family say, "Oh, what's that?" And that's what I try to break down.
Yes.
Don't listen to them. You educate them,
Right, yes. Take the lead.
Yeah, take the lead.
Don't let those criticisms sneak in.
Yes.
Be so excited about your work that they want to ask you questions.
Yes, it's not necessary to do, as the other expression, there's enough people painting palm trees. You don't need, I don't need to be one of them.
Pelicans on a post. Right. I think we can go from that cityscape to taking back what pelican on a post. Well, it's sort of, the classic. It's like in Wisconsin, it's a covered bridge, or it's a dairy barn.
Yes, a lake.
A lake with a loon.
Lake. And the boathouse, this stuff. Yes.
Yeah.
Take a photograph. I say, take a photograph.
Yeah, exactly. I think you're exactly right. If it's beautiful enough to take a photograph of, then do that and be satisfied.
It'd be better than trying to emulate
recreate
that.
something that's already really nice. Yeah.
That's my basis of my philosophy about art.
Now, you call your show, you have the word fun light in it. Painting with fun light. And I think one painting that illustrates that is the other cityscape back here, which is taking back our city streets. And it's nature is taking back our city streets.
Yes, I just love that concept.
Not any concerned citizens, but nature.
Yes, but with the COVID thing, the streets emptied. Everything empty.
Yes,
Cars were gone, all this kind of thing. Right. And one thing you could do is walk and be in those spaces. And then I saw something which was sort of talking about people were, I think they were in Fifth Avenue, and there they were all over the avenue, all over the road, little picnics set up, chairs set up in the middle of Fifth Avenue. And I just thought, that is a wonderful concept. I love that idea that we could use this in a different way. We never can use it that way when you've got traffic.
Yes. Yeah, it became more of a community way of getting out safely and enjoying.
Yes,
instead
dogs
of getting in your
running,
car on the bus.
kids playing, Fifth Avenue.
That's wonderful.
And it just appealed to me, the whole concept of that. That's why I thought I want to do that myself.
So this was a direct result of all of that
Yeah.
misery, was really the upside
Yes,
of,
the good bit.
Yeah.
Yes,
yeah.
yes, we saw something good out of everything.
And you have really
But
fairly giant, colorful flowers. They're really
Yes.
they look more imposing than the buildings in the background.
Well, I think that's quite important too.
Mm-hmm.
Let's not be trapped in by all these buildings. There's still some,
Mm-hmm.
nature left here somewhere. And also, I didn't want it to be, because I'd already done this, New York. I had made up my mind to do it Miami.
Okay.
That's why it has that Florida story
yes,
behind
you have
it.
hibiscus and things like that.
Yes.
In there.
And this sunlit streets kind of thing.
Yes.
But, yeah.
Yeah. It's also very beautiful colors. You have very bright, warm flowers, and the background is purples and light greens and blues and things. So
Yes.
it's really a nice contrast in the foreground colors of the
Well,
flowers.
that one, same thing. People loved it. It was gone in a
Right
heartbeat.
away.
What an idea! What a great idea! Yes, yes,
Oh, that's wonderful.
yes. So-
Speaking of flowers and speaking of, a lot of your ladies wanted to paint flowers, but you are a fairly good flower painter yourself.
I can
Yeah,
be
yeah.
realism.
I think that one of them is your eucalyptus
No.
painting. It's not your thing? Well, it looks like it's your
Well,
thing.
I promise you,
When you want it to be your thing, it's your thing.
Yes, but I did that on purpose because I felt that not everybody's going to think a little, off the wall like I do. They will like, and in fact, we're exactly right, because that opening night, you see, people do love the realism, and
They like things they can gravitate to, something that
Yes.
looks back at them, or
Yes.
something that invites
Yes.
them, like a cheery group of flowers.
yes,
That
but
one is very romantic. It's standing
It
in
is.
front of a window and the sun is streaming around it. Sort of
yes,
ethereal.
yes.
Yeah.
And I have only one spot there where it's in focus, the little orange flower, sharp and in focus. Everything else is
Soft.
yes,
It's soft
soft and
edge.
sunlit.
Yes.
Yes.
It is. It gives the feeling almost of the warmth of the sunlight, in addition to the brightness of sunlight coming around.
Yes,
Everybody's
yes.
seen that in the window.
And
when
yes,
when
you
it comes
have.
in and it
Yes,
sort of changes whatever is in front of that window. Makes it a little magic.
absolutely.
Yeah.
And I love that because then you get all these lost and found edges, I
Yes.
like that.
I think your
I like
cone
that.
flowers are certainly not lost and found.
No.
They are, cone flowers have a personality.
Yes.
They are out
yes.
there and they're tough. And
Yes.
they have a beautiful color. They're going to get your attention.
Yeah. Cone flowers are just stunning in colour. I mean, they're
Mm-hmm.
striking, aren't they?
Yes,
You
that's
see
fuchsia.
you see them growing in a clump of other things, and they just stand out. Whatever nature makes those so powerfully pink, I do find that difficult
Yeah. To
to
make
get
something that pink,
the pink right.
to make it glow the way they do.
Yes.
To make it look like it's coming
Yeah.
out of the flower instead of being
Yes.
on top of the flower. And I
Yes.
think you've succeeded there. The thing I like about cone flowers too is they remind me of cooler climes up north, like you have in
Yes.
Wisconsin and Virginia and
Yes.
down here.
It's too hot here. Yes. Yes.
But it's
We-
tough,
there are a
and
lot
they have
up there.
those hairy stems. I mean, they're really sort of,
They're beautiful
they're a little like the
flowers,
buffalo of
absolutely.
flowers, sort of flamboyant and
I could have
charging out at you.
cone daisy bison.
Yes.
Maybe.
Yes, exactly.
Yes. And the same thing, I was concentrating on focal point needed to be just one or two of those flowers at the top. The rest could fade back and not
Yes.
closely drawn or strongly drawn.
Back into that misty
Yes.
green field back there.
Yes.
Because
Yes.
of course you can only really focus on one thing at a time. Whether it's a cow's eyelash,
Oh,
the rest goes
exactly.
out a little bit, or,
Yes.
or one flower and everything else
Yes,
gets fuzzy.
and I felt the others needed, they can't all be in focus and strong.
Mm-hmm.
They need to be, the rest need to be as they would be underneath the other flowers, and they'd be shadowed and all sorts of things.
What do you think is the funniest animal you paint?
Funny.
The funniest, the one that lends itself best to humor.
The daisies,
The
the
daisies?
cows,
Well,
yeah.
the cows?
I do love the roosters.
Yes, roosters. Are
And
sort of
yes, and then that one, I don't know, something was said, and like checking out the chicks,
yes,
we said.
Yes.
And I suddenly thought, oh my gosh, that's lovely. And she just popped out on the side.
Oh.
And I love her expression, like, oh, wait a minute, you guys, back off.
Two of these tough-looking roosters, you
Yes.
know, out for a night on the town.
Yeah,
And she looks
yeah.
so innocent. She looks like,
Yes,
chick.
so
She's
pretty.
not really even,
She's
she's just a
she's
poet alone in the big city.
yeah, and the other guy is backing off the middle one. You know, he's gonna
Yes, yes.
heave over, matey, because I'm coming in. Yes, so I love the animals are full of good stuff. I love them. There will be more. I experiment a bit more with
Forward
them.
to them. I mean, you know, maybe
Yeah.
you should have a show a year so we can continue to laugh and
Yes,
get a little fun light in our lives.
fun light, exactly.
Fun light.
And Buttercup, she's cute.
Who's that? Oh yes, there's a cow with a little frock on, a little polka dotted frock.
Yeah, she's off out partying, and she's got her nose pierced with a diamond stud.
So she's a little like the roosters again,
She's
out to
same
have
thing.
fun. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think I can take anything too seriously.
I think that's a good way to do
Yes.
it. Yeah, you shouldn't take painting, even if it's a serious painting, you shouldn't think of it too seriously. Or
No,
it can be deadly.
you need to be enjoying it and have fun. And that's where the word funlight came from, because I was struggling away with realism and everything else. And then I would look at them quite often and just think, that painting is dead.
Mm-hmm.
And it would be very disappointing. I'd think, what did I do? It's dead.
Mm-hmm.
So I would say to myself, I need to get a little fun into this. Fun and sunlight. I need to get light and sun. And then one day I was just rattling away in my head, and I suddenly said, "Funlight. That's it. That needs funlight."
I think you should trademark it. Well, thank you very or bottle it, maybe even
Bottle it,
yes.
yes.
Well, thank you very much for talking about your art today.
Thank you, Ellen.
Again, this is Ellen Fischer, and this is the Center for Spiritual Care, and probably the best gallery in town. So if you can, stop by and see it sometimes. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you. It's very nice. Thank you.